visiting Taiwan for the first time, I heard it referred to as the heart of Asia and thought how lovely that sounded. What I didn't expect is how this unique country would make its way into my own heart. I found lots of reasons to love and appreciate Taiwan, and in this video, I'm going to share some of my top travel tips for visiting. If you'd like to see more, check out the rest of our Taiwan series with plenty more videos about where to go, what to do, and very importantly, what to eat. Let's start with some advice about when to visit Taiwan. As you've seen in some of our other videos, it can get really, really hot in the summertime. It's pretty cold, eh? I feel like I should have brought a sweater.
Absolutely free.
It looks like it.
Totally.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Someone get me a sweater.
We should put a thermal on.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. The average summer temperature is about 30 degrees Celsius plus humidity. When we visited, it was much hotter than that. However, that was atypical and record-breaking. I asked lots of locals about when they think is the perfect time to visit, and pretty much everyone said around October to April, when weather is mild to moderately cool, depending on where you are in the country. The coldest winter temperatures are around 15 degrees. I personally prefer weather on the cooler side like that, might just be the Canadian in me, but if you're good with heat and humidity, I just wanted to give you fair warning. Here's something really cool offered at Taiwan International Airport in Taipei. If you have a layover that's between 7 and 24 hours long, you're eligible for a free city tour. You can reserve these ahead or on site, and I'll link more information about this option in the description box below. If you're able to stay longer than a stopover in Taiwan, then lucky you, and I recommend getting a SIM card at the airport. There's plenty of free public Wi-Fi around Taiwan, but we found the mobile plans were great value. There are different options, but the company we used is called Far EasTone, and they have a Taiwan airport location outside the baggage claim. We got a prepaid SIM card with unlimited data for 10 days for 550 Taiwan dollars. Speaking of buying things as soon as you arrive at the airport, I wanted to mention something about currency in Taiwan. You can pay with credit cards sometimes, but cash is king, and you'll always want to have some on hand so you don't get stuck. There are banks at Taiwan Airport that provide a 24-hour exchange service, so you can either bring some cash from home to exchange or hit up an ATM like we did. One of the ways to make your money last is taking public transportation. In Taipei, the subway is known as the MRT, and you can take it straight from the airport into the city. Tickets are 160 Taiwan dollars, and you can pay with cash at the ticket machines, which also give change.
Okay, so Taipei main station.
You have to press English.
Taipei main station. And I want
For two people.
So I'm gonna just put in 400.
You got a girlfriend money bag? Take note of which train you get on, by the way, because there's a faster express that's about 30 minutes and a commuter that takes more like 50. There's commuter and express, and you want to get on the express, it's a lot faster. Once you're in Taipei, I think the MRT is the best way to get around. It's safe, reliable, efficient, and affordable. The trains run from about 6 a.m. to 12 midnight, and there are plenty of easy-to-use ticket machines. We're gonna get our tickets to ride the MRT here in Taipei, and there's thankfully an English option. Let's see, we just want single journey. We are here. So then we know we want to go down the brown line to here and end up here. So that tells us the price, 20. So then here I press 20. That's just for one person. So then we need to press 2 because I need 2 of them for Mark and I. So now it says 40 Taiwanese dollars. And it takes $100 bills. So I'm going to put the money in. Oh, it's coming at the bottom here. Once you get your token, you scan it on the sensor to get through the gate, or you can also buy refillable cards instead of buying tokens each time. As you can see on the map, the price is calculated based on distance, but generally around the city center, you pay 20 Taiwan dollars. That's incredibly good value. Eating and drinking are prohibited on the MRT, which keeps it clean and odor-free, and there's also free Wi-Fi and information booths if you need help. Many stations we saw have escalators and/or elevators as well if mobility is an issue for you. We're racing up this escalator. It's gonna be close.
Who will win?
There are lines on the ground to show you where to line up to enter the train. Trains pull in behind glass, and every time I see this safety feature, I wonder why it doesn't exist everywhere because it makes so much sense. There are lots of signs in English which makes navigating easier, and a lot of the MRT track is elevated above street level, which makes it a great way to get a view of the city as you ride. Stations often have places to get food, like everyone's favorite boyfriend, Mr. Donut, and some of them even have drugstores. A drugstore in the subway station? It's my kind of subway station. If you're going somewhere further afield from an MRT station, like the National Palace Museum, for example, there are also buses to get you there. And if you're traveling between cities, high-speed rail is definitely the way to go. The trains are comfortable and, in my experience, ran on time.
We just left Taipei. We're on the high-speed train heading south towards Kaohsiung. If you were to drive, it would take 5 or 6 hours, but this train is only 2. Plus, you get this gorgeous view out the window of all the countryside.
Train travel is one of my personal favorites. There's nothing like gazing out the window as the horizon constantly makes itself over to lull you into a state of faraway calm. High-speed trains in Taiwan are actually spaces of enforced calm because there are signs asking you to put electronic devices on silent and to talk in a low voice, as well as designated quiet areas. They have an awesome campaign to remind people about being considerate, where Mr. Lion here demonstrates what not to do, and Ms. Octopus shows us not to spread yourself over too many seats. There are vending machines built into the train cars, and also a snack cart that makes the rounds with different foods and drinks for sale. Trains also have breastfeeding areas and free Wi-Fi. I loved traveling by high-speed rail around Taiwan. Not only is it faster and more comfortable than driving, but it's another chance to see more of the countryside. And if you're really lucky, you'll get to take a Hello Kitty train like this. I also wanted to highlight some of my favorite hotels we stayed at. First up, on the little island of Shaoliocho is 7th Living. This hotel is small, like its home, with only 4 rooms, each of which is named after a different time of day. Ours was 5:10 p.m. On an island this small, you're always within walking distance of the beach and the coastline, and the colors and textures here reflect that softness and proximity to nature. I love the attention to detail. Even the towels in our room had our initials, E for me and M for Mark. The common spaces feel like an industrial loft with mid-century modern, vintage, and bespoke touches. The lobby is 2 stories with super tall shelves that display all the owner's favorite knickknacks, and outside is a little courtyard and fish pond. Back on the mainland in the southern part of the country is the city of Kaohsiung. We stayed at Hotel Dua, where the decor is modern and moody. Huge bed, huge bathtub, what more does one need? They also have a great patio and city view, and one of the biggest and best breakfast selections we saw in Taiwan. Back north in Taipei, I have 2 recommendations. The first is Folio Da'an, which is where we stayed when we first arrived, so we fell in love with it from the start. It's a historical building that's been repurposed, so it's nestled into the cozy alleyways of Da'an, one of my favorite neighborhoods of Taipei. Another area of the city I love is Ximending, and the Citizen M Hotel is right nearby. We're back in Taipei, and we just arrived at the cutest hotel. Bathrooms in there. Cute little thing on the bed, and then look at this view. Oh my god. Hi Taipei! This is an international chain, and the Taipei location is actually the first in Asia. The rooms are small but comfortable, and really, it's all about the view. They also have a great breakfast and sitting area where you can chill or work. What you got? I said, what you got? You said, yeah. It's early. Right nearby is the city's Old North Gate, as well as Camera Street, where camera lovers like us can find tons of different stores selling all sorts of cameras and accessories. I'll link the rest of our Taiwan series below, where you can find more videos about top attractions and experiences across the country, visiting Taroko National Park, shopping, the mystery of the abandoned UFO village, night markets, Taiwanese cooking, and lots more food videos on traditional foods, street foods, desserts, and the top foods to try. I'd love to hear what tips you have to share, so please comment with anything you think people should know. I hope you enjoyed this video, give it a like if you did, and make sure to subscribe for lots more travel adventures around the world. Thanks for watching!